Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
As the gypsies have roamed alien lands through the ages, so they ventured early to our western frontier. For the West was horse country, and the gypsies were horse traders, and sometimes horse thieves. The day came when Wyatt Earp had to decide which.
I don't come all the way to town unless it's important. You know that, Bud.
Another good horse disappeared last night. It belonged to George Irons here. Tell him what happened, George.
I sent the horse into town after supper with my wrangler, Casey. He stopped to light a cigar, and a man wearing a mask clubbed him.
Mm-hmm. When I come to, the horse was gone.
That's the 7th good animal that's been stole this fall. Now, George and I called you men together to decide what we're going to do about it.
Well, what about the law, Bud? We're paying this Marshal Earp pretty good.
This marshal ain't located one of your stolen horses.
When there wasn't any law at all in this country, we knew how to handle horse thieving.
And I'm one who ain't forgotten.
Do you have any idea who's responsible?
Sure. Casey found this at the West Fork last night.
That's the mask of Rustler War.
It's a cheap bandana dyed black. I dipped it in some boiling water and soaked some of the dye off. Here, take a look at it.
Purple and green around the edges.
Now, where have you seen folks wearing purple and green around here?
Well, gypsy women out at Cassin's camp.
Seems like we ought to go out to Cassin's camp and have a look around, don't it?
If George Irons' horse is out there, we might just knock this around some gypsy's neck.
That ought to take care of horse rustling around Wichita for a while. That was our idea in calling these men together, wasn't it, George?
That was our idea.
All right. Let's go out to the corral and get our horses.
Morning, Mr. Irons. Mr. Creel. Morning, boys. Morning, Marshal. You riding out somewhere?
Is that any of your business, Earp?
I hope it isn't.
Well, it ain't, so get off my corral gate.
Now, look, I know where you're headed and why you're headed there. I'm going to ask you to cool off and think it over.
You aiming to stop us?
Yep. You hired out to handle horse thieving, among other things around Wichita. You haven't done it. So?
So, maybe we can handle it better.
Like stringing up a gypsy?
Yeah. If he's the one that slugged Casey and stole George Irons' horse last night.
Well, that'd be murder, Mr. Creel, the way you're going to go about it. Even if we can prove he stole my horse? Well, you prove it to me and I'll put him in jail. Then you got to prove it to the judge. That's the law.
And this is my corral and we're coming in to get our horses.
I shouldn't wonder you could do it. There's enough of you. But how many will there be when you get on the other side of this gate?
You can't bluff me, Earp.
Well, I'm not trying to bluff you, Mr. Creel. I'm just asking you to stop and think whether any horse you ever rode is worth a hole in your shirt. Or one in yours, Mr. Irons. Your family can get along a lot better without that horse than it can without you.
Are we going to let him buffalo us?
Mr. Casey, you want to be the first one through the gate?
I ain't going to let no young squirt back me down. Put up that gun. Give me an even draw.
All right. Go ahead. Take him over to Dr. Fabric's office. I'm going to ride out to the gypsy camp, see if they got any strange horses in their string.
All right, Marshal. We'll try it your way. just once more.
I advise you to get rid of those guns. They're a heavy drag on the ribs.
Garçon.
Hello, Marshal.
Morning, Hassan. Anna.
Good morning, Mr. Earp. Would you like some coffee?
Didn't come for coffee, thanks. I'd like to talk. It's not very much like the old buffalo hunting days, is it?
Not much.
I see married life kind of settles a man.
Did you come here to talk to me about married life?
No. As a matter of fact, I'm in a little trouble.
I hope I can help you, as you have often helped me.
I think you can.
How?
Well, by answering some questions. Another horse was stolen last night. Right in the edge of town.
I know. A roan off of George Irons' ranch.
How do you know about it?
We have ways of knowing things. There is no roan horse on this ranch. You can look around if you like.
No, I've already looked. Hassan, what do you know about these wagon families living on your land?
You know I don't discuss the affairs of my people.
No, they're not really your people. Since you married a wife from Ohio and homesteaded this land, you haven't been riding with the wagons.
I respect their customs.
Well, we've got an old custom in this part of the country for horse stealing called hanging. I don't respect it. But if the rustling keeps up, I don't know what I can do about it.
We did not steal that horse last night.
What about the other 6 horses that disappeared lately?
No.
You give me your word as a friend or a gypsy?
A friend.
All right. But the ranchers think differently. They found this mask on the West Fork Road last night near where the horse was stolen.
Gypsies don't need masks to steal horses. That proves we did not do it. It's an old trick, Marshal. Someone trying to throw suspicion on us.
Suspicion in my eye. They can use this as evidence against you. Well, you'd have had a gang of visitors carrying guns and ropes if I hadn't stopped them.
In a gypsy camp, every gun in every wagon is loaded.
Hassan, whether you're my friend or not, you don't want to pitch battle against the ranchers. They'd kill half your people.
I thank you for preventing it.
Look, will you help me find out what's happening to these horses?
No, I don't dare.
I'll back you up. I'll make you my special deputy.
Don't you understand? The law is an enemy that hounded the gypsies in every land. I cannot look with the law. It is forbidden.
You mean your own people would dry gulch you? Take your choice.
Here he comes. All right, Marshal, did you turn up my horse?
Casson said he didn't steal any horses.
We know all about you and Casson, Earp.
He's an honest man.
You back to gypsies and we go on losing horses. Is that it?
No. But since we don't know where to go to find the rustlers, maybe we can bring the rustlers to us. Try staking out a couple of good animals.
Decoys, eh?
That's right. Close by town where I can keep my eye on them.
Might work.
Nothing else has. Mr. Irons, will you lend me a couple of your horses for the job?
Why 2 and why mine?
Because you raise the best stock in Kansas and because we got to stake out something the rustlers can't resist stealing.
And the marshal's office is going to be watching them?
Yep.
Then you better use somebody else's horses.
Hold it. I don't think you meant that, did you? I don't think you meant that I'm in on any deal that might lose you your horses.
I don't recall saying you were in on it, Earp. But I do know valuable stock's been disappearing, right under your nose.
Make you feel any better if I appoint you special deputy for the job?
I've got a ranch to run, Earp.
What about your wrangler, Casey? He's been with you for over 9 years. You ought to trust him.
Casey, you heard the marshal's proposition. Want to work with him a couple of days?
Sure, why not? Make it a crack at whoever slugged me.
All right. Now, it's to your men's interest to keep this quiet. So keep it among yourselves.
All right.
Casey. See anything on the road in?
Yeah, jackrabbits.
Nothing moving around here.
That's where he was, Wyatt. Hiding under that bridge. The man in the mask that slugged me.
I've been staked out here since about dark, waiting for him.
They're playing this one close to the vest.
Casey, you go turn your horses loose in that field over there.
Yeah, I know. Irons told me.
Anything to eat?
Nope.
Well, I'll bring you some dinner.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Thank you.
It's Bud Creel. Come on in.
Any sign of him?
Nope.
The Dutchman wants you in town, Herb. Some cowhands that get included in this place.
You want to watch with Casey?
I don't need nobody.
I'll watch till my night stage goes out, just after midnight.
I'll be by later, Casey.
Casey. He's dead. They got your horses, too, George.
And where's that marshal?
Forget the marshal. Let's trail those horses. How'd you mark their shoes?
We didn't. Casey took their shoes off, so whoever stole them couldn't ride off fast.
It'll be easy to track them barefoot. Come on. Look at those tracks. They had them tied out here.
Look at these. Lead right into Casson's camp. Bud, there he is. The roan.
Right out in the open. Why, those gypsies... Take it easy, George. There's a dozen guns in that camp. Hadn't we better go back to town and raise some riders?
You can do anything you like, but that's my roan horse. Him and me go back to town together. Get out of here.
Don't go near that horse.
We'll have trouble. You two go on back to town.
What are you doing here?
Earning my wages. I found Casey dead about an hour ago. Tracked your horse to Casson's waterhole.
The horse was brought dead before dawn by someone trying to make it appear that we had stolen it.
I wouldn't talk too much, Casson. What you say can be used against you.
Or against you, Herb.
Yeah. What about George's other horse, Marshal?
I wouldn't know about that. But right now, if I were you two, I wouldn't pick a private fight. Take a good look around you.
Do they think they can take my horse? Hold it!
They think Casson's being framed by the law. Casson, tell your people that I'm not going to frame you, that I'm your friend.
And tell them if they gun us, half of Wichita will be out here on a run.
Or shoot them like sheep. Burn their wagons.
Shut up, Creel.
Casson, Tell your people that you're going into town as my prisoner because I promised you justice. Tell them they've got to back my play. Because with that horse being found in your camp, if you don't go in town with me, I can't keep you from a lynching.
Vayata con los pados. Vayan las pistolas. Grigora!
All right, you two go on into town. We'll be right behind you. Get your things. Cousin, trust me, it's the only way.
Who is it?
Annie Castle.
All right. Sit down. Took a big chance coming here tonight. Gypsies aren't too popular.
I thought the town was asleep.
Town's not going to be sleeping on this one. Anna, I'm sorry. I can't let you see Cousin.
Oh, I understand. I had to bring him his supper. He'll only eat gypsy food.
Yeah, I know. I told him if he'd just starved to death, it might save us a lot of trouble.
Why, this isn't a joke, Mr. Earp. I came here for something else. I had to warn you.
About what?
Some of the ranchers are planning to break into jail and take Casson.
You know that? How?
I can't tell you.
Well, how can I believe you?
When a gypsy woman reads the ranch wise fortunes, she learns a lot more than she tells. You've got to stop them, Mr. Earp. On my word, the gypsies didn't steal those horses. Casson is innocent.
You're his wife, you'd say that.
It's true. You know he's not a horse thief. You're his friend. You can't let them hang him.
Now, look, Anna, there's only one of me. There'll be 100 of those jug-crazy cowhands. If they start here, I don't know if I can stop them.
The rancher's wife said it might be tonight.
The necktie party? I better sleep here in the jail, then.
Why, you'd give your life for him, wouldn't you, Mr. Earp?
Look, Anna, if you want to save your husband, you better get your people to try and find out who stole those horses.
We'll try to find out.
And tell them this much for me. They're not doing the law a favor. Casson's their blood. It's him they're helping. Now, you better go on home. Take the alley. I think you'll be all right. I can't go with you.
Thank you, Mr. Earp.
Good night, Anna.
Why? Things are kind of piling up on you.
Uh-huh. They're really piling up.
They say they'll force your resignation if Casson doesn't hang or if one more horse is stolen.
Yeah, well, one more horse has been stolen.
What?
Roan belonging to George Irons, the evidence against Casson.
But that horse was in your custody, locked in your stable.
I know it. Last night while I was on guard duty, somebody pried the steel bar off the stable and the roan's gone.
Where were your deputies?
I only had 2 of them yesterday.
Listen, I'll serve Wyatt if you want to swear me in.
No. 1 gun more or less would make any difference if they come for Casson tonight.
You think they'll try?
Yeah. First they'll be here sometime this afternoon asking for my resignation. Not being able to stop somebody from stealing a horse that was placed in my custody, and I can't say I blame them.
Well, I can.
No. All they know is that they were brought up believing that the only way to stop horse stealing was to hang some man. They're breaking windows, trying to decoy me outside. Don't worry, I won't leave the jail. I can pick up glass off the streets, but not blood.
Get away from that window.
Open up!
Who's there?
It's me, Murdoch.
You wanted over at Doc Fabrique's.
You know I can't leave here.
It's Casson's wife. She's hurt. Some drunken cowhand turned over her wagon. She says she's got to talk to you.
You stay here. Lock the door behind me.
He's leaving the jail. Keep your eyes on him. I'll report to Bud Creel.
Go around the back. Your men are getting liquored up all over town. We can't hold them much longer, Earp or no Earp.
Bud, Earp just left the jail.
Which way's he heading?
Well, I don't know, but they're watching him on every corner.
All your men are waiting for is a signal. Let's give it to them.
Marshal went into Doc Fabrique's office and came right out. He's walking down the street and headed this way.
Well, boys, I believe Earp's come to his senses, coming down here to make a deal. Jenks, if he steps inside, bolt the door behind him. I'll go out back and lock my stable door. Then we'll have him boxed while the hands go to work on the jail.
Welcome committee, huh? Every man that lost a horse. Well, that's good. Except Bud Creel, where's he?
Just back in the stable. He'll be right in.
Maybe I better talk to him there. Alone. I'd stay out of it if I were you.
Well, Mr. Earp, so you're quitting on your gypsy partner.
No? Not just yet.
What'd you come down here for? Resign or make a deal?
I came down here to get George Irons' horse.
You mean the one someone stole right out of your own stable last night?
You stole that horse, Mr. Creel.
Me?
That's right, you. Only you hadn't had time to run him out of town yet.
Ha! He's accusing me of rustling those horses.
That's right. You hid him out here in this stable until your night stage left. Then your drivers ran him south. That's how all your stock has been disappearing, gentlemen. Right down the open trail on Mr. Creel's stage run. At night and under harness, where nobody'd ever think to look for a stolen horse.
You got no proof of that, Earp?
I guess you'll be surprised to know I got it from the gypsies.
From the gypsies?
That's right. Last night they spotted your 2 stolen horses at Creel's first relay station south. I just got the word.
And you take the word of a lying gypsy?
That's no proof.
Proof's right under our nose. Only we couldn't see it.
Where'd he get his gun?
There's your roan, Mr. Irons. He killed Casey, then he sent those 2 horses of yours out of town, pulling the night stage. Then he planted the roan horse at the gypsy camp where we found it. His game was going so good, he got a little greedy last night. He had to steal it back from me.
And he was holding it in this blind stall for his late stage run tonight.
That's right. Figured tonight'd be an easy one, with the whole town busy hanging a gypsy. So you men give me a hand, we'll take him over to Doc Fabrique's.
And the jail, Mr. Creel.
Get in
What's happened?
there. Got a more important customer. Got to turn you out.
You are not quitting on me, are you, Marshal? What about that mob outside?
Anna cleared your casa. She's waiting inside. Go on, get in there.
Yeah. What about that mob outside, Earp? They're liquored up and they're carrying a rope.
You ought to know. You gave it to them. Yeah, listen. They're sure hankering for a horse thief.
You're not going to let him come in and get me, are you, Earp?
No. That'd still be murder, Mr. Creel.
What are you going to do?
Guess I'll just have to sleep another night in jail. Good night.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.